like a 5-year deal, I want to say. So I guess final prediction. You're going to go, what, 3 out of 4, Austin? Oh, did I lose him?
My bad. 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Did you mute yourself again?
Yes. It's like a weekly thing at this point.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Chris, you missed it. I muted myself for like a whole 2 minutes, and I thought they were just ignoring me the other night.
Yeah, we kept talking over him. What would you put on the series, Chris?
The Red Sox should sweep them. Plain and simple.
Okay. Yeah, there's been a lot of that happening. So,
look at me being pessimistic today. So, whole 3 out of 4.
I'll say 3 out of 4 because we don't know who's pitching yet on Sunday, and it's kind of, even though they are the Orioles, it is kind of hard to sweep a doubleheader. So,
somebody called them the Triple O's the other day, and I was like, I like that. I was like, it's just like the Triple A's, except they're worse.
Yeah, that's pretty fitting, actually. Do you guys think Showalter comes back next year?
No. I think Buck's done with that team, and I think that team is done with Buck.
Do you think he manages again?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him in Anaheim or LA.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll get to the Yankees. There are going to be some openings. There already is an opening in St. Louis. Is that definitely Girardi's at this point?
Chris?
I don't think Anaheim or Toronto are going to go for the older guys. Maybe this is just a coincidence, and maybe there's something to it, but the same day that Scioscia came out and said, I'm not retiring, or, basically saying that Ken Rosenthal's report was false, Andy Chavez, if you remember him, he played, or Eric Chavez, not Andy Chavez, Eric Chavez, who was the former third baseman of the Oakland A's back in the day. He's now a coach, and he got called up from Double A to Triple A to be the Triple A manager. So is that a grooming situation where next stop for him is going to be the show? I would say so. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But I think Girardi's either going to go to St. Louis or he's going to stay at MLB Network. I don't think teams are going to go for older guys or older managers anymore, because teams and organizations see that position as more of an extension from the front office. And you're not going to see managers making $5, $6, $7 million. I know there are a couple that are the exceptions, but they want to pay guys the most minimal amount of money. And I don't know why exactly, other than, penny pinching, but it's just the way teams are being run now. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Well, and Eric Chavez, first of all, super underrated. Living in Texas, I saw him way too many times playing third base for the Oakland A's. Great player. Honestly, would be a great hitting coach, if not a manager, in my opinion. A lot I think Molitor would be a better hitting coach than a manager. But, I think Chris is right. Now that he explains it like that, everybody's going younger, right? All these old heads like Scioscia, Showalter, even, why am I losing his name? Who's in Miami?
Mattingly.
Yeah, you have Don Mattingly there. You're eventually going to lose those people, and it's going to wind up being guys like Cora. Unfortunately, people like Aaron Boone. So,
yeah, I don't really buy into that. I know it's working out for the Red Sox, worked out for the Astros last year, but Bruce Bochy, 3-time World Series winner, still fairly recently, is an old guy. Ned Yost, recent World Series winner, Game 7 of the year before, old guy. Madden and Francona, yeah, both on opposite sides in 2016, both old guys. So I don't know. And Cora wasn't my first choice. I was kind of hoping they would go with Ron Gardenhire, to be honest with you, but I mean, I was open-minded. At the end of the day, with me being
anything but Farrell.
Exactly. Farrell haters can't be choosers. So, and Cora's worked out well. I mean, obviously, I'm never going to be comfortable with the lineup until we win a World Series with it. But I like Mookie in the 3-hole and whatnot.
Let's get that out of the way first of all. It's working out marvelously, right? We're talking about Mookie Betts this season. Mookie could be having such a better season, and I feel like with Benny's OBP, it would be better, and I would be more comfortable if it was, AB leading off, and then having Mookie JD. But it's not going to happen at this point. We just have to swallow that pill and accept it.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of grew up watching Manny and Poppy, hitting 3-4, and
well, everybody grew up watching that big boom 3-4. I mean, it's got to be weird for Yankee fans to see, their big hitter at the 2-hole, right, Chris? Did we lose Chris?
Did we? We might have lost him.
Well, like when Aaron Judge is healthy, right? Think about this. How weird would for a Yankee fan to see when you remember, for younger fans, in my, age group, seeing Teixeira or Rodriguez Teixeira, and all of a sudden you have your big hitter batting Aaron Judge in the 2-hole, or in this case when Judge is hurt, you have Stanton in the 2-hole. Like, it's got to be a little bit of an adjustment.
Right, yeah, I mean,
abnormal.
Analytics are, probably have something to say about it, but I don't know. And here's an interesting thought that nobody talks about. JD Martinez is in the conversation for MVP, and I don't know whether the fact he's a DH, if that might come back to kind of hurt him.
That's going to bite him.
As far as
Unless
the vote
he wins
total.
the Triple Crown.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. A lot of his production goes to Mookie if Mookie is hitting ahead of him. Mookie is hurting his own
then again,
case for...
The first basemen are on base a whole lot more. Like the people in the 3-hole would be on base a whole lot more for JD. In the 3, you know what I'm saying?
Well, not really, because if Mookie hits, say they're 3-4, Mookie hits third, he's going to be the one driving in Benintendi. Mookie will be the only one on base, I feel like, if he hits in front of JD. But
I would be interested to know, like, the amount of 3-run shots or 3-run shots that he has. That would be an interesting stat for Dave to look up for us for next week.
Yeah, I
get what you're saying.
I feel like it's been a lot of multiple runs. Yeah, I do. I mean, yesterday was one for sure, and but I mean, the fact that Mookie leads off, I think it hurts his case. It helps JD's case. Maybe they cancel each other out. I mean, that's a possibility. So I don't know. I don't know. But if we win a World Series, or even if we go deep in the playoffs, then I'll shut up about it. I mean, I haven't really griped about it lately. I hate Moreland hitting third. That's something that's hard for me.
Yeah, we know. We know.
He's been hitting good lately, but if he's cold at the wrong time, that's not going to bode well. And the fact that Devers hasn't really blossomed the way we hoped he would is kind of probably what's helping Moreland stay in that spot, because if Devers is a middle of the order bat, I think the lineup looks a little different anyway. But that remains to be seen. He did homer last night in his first game back, so if that sparks a nice run similar to what he had last year, then that opens up a lot of interesting possibilities. Is there a way to get Chris back or no?
I don't know. I can figure it out.
Okay.
Let's see.
If he wants to. It's we've gone just over an hour. I was just about to get to his Yankees, though, so.
Let's see. I'm calling him. You're probably going to hear it, but whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. And he might not even be signed in.
Yeah, he didn't answer.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
we can still talk Yankees.
Yeah, we got a little bit of it in. So do we know? I guess we may as well talk about him a little bit. Do we know what Judge is still a long ways out, isn't he?
I mean,
he's not.
We've said it
back
for the last couple episodes. He's got the same injury that Bogey had, so it's going to be a whole lot longer than I think the Yankee fans want it to be. So I think it's going to wind up being probably a month.
Yeah.
The last time I heard he was supposed to take dry swings this week. I don't really know what that means. That's a weird way to phrase it, depending on what it is, but maybe he gets back by like September 10th. Something like that, and right before they have to make their run, basically. And it might be a run for survival at that point, depending on if Seattle gets hot.
That's an excellent point. And I mean, they could just, I mean, you know, we wouldn't know anything about collapses or anything. So, I mean, who knows what could happen. I have a fan-sided article up right now. But I apparently, yeah.
But then again, that's one of those things where if it gets to that point, maybe they accidentally rush him back, and he's exactly like Bogaerts was when he came back. He wasn't the same person last year, and Bogaerts this year, okay, is what he's going to be for the rest of his career, in my opinion. Would you agree with that? Like, I haven't said that on the podcast, but I think that this is what Bogey's going to wind up being, like, career average-wise.
What he's doing this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And, I mean, he might be a little injury-prone, too.
Which isn't bad.
Right. I still think at the end of the day, when he hits free agency, he's going to get a deal similar to what Hosmer got, you know, right around 150 or so. And it's just going to be up to the Red Sox to decide whether they want to pay it or not. And, I mean, we got nobody to replace him with. That's the one painful thing. And but he's injury prone, and so is he going to be like Jacoby Ellsbury by the time he hits his 30s? You know, I mean, that's kind of at the forefront for me.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but
and I know people don't like us talking bad about their Bogaerts, but there's a chance that he winds up in New York, and I know nobody wants to hear that. And I know, oh well, he's a Red Sox. The rivalry means too much to him. Well, it happened with Jacoby Ellsbury. They tempted him with money. It happened with Johnny Damon. It happens.
Yeah.
And they're going to wind up needing the shortstop pretty soon because Didi's not going to be back. They're not going to re-sign Didi.
You think he'll want too much money, Didi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Bogaerts is basically better in pretty much every facet except the long ball when it comes to that.
Yeah, and it certainly helps that Didi is a lefty in that park as well. Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be interesting. We got a whole extra season to sweat that out, barring some type of a trade, which like I said, I can't see because who are we gonna plug in there? So yeah,
unless Chavis is ready,
which I think he's a corner.
He's getting closer.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's one that I would like to package somewhere else next year.
Yeah, because like I said, to me, he's got Chris Colabello written all over him. I mean, he was nothing until last year, and then surprise, he started peeing funny colors and gets a suspension. And I think he's a corner infielder, though. I don't think he's going to be up the middle.
You don't think he could play second?
Well, his defense
or
apparently
short or anything.
No, I mean his defense is pretty suspect. So. Yeah, here's a guy we haven't heard much from. Maybe I'll pull him up.
Is it Bobby Dalbec? He's been a monster.
I have seen some rumblings of him, but no, I was thinking about Sam Travis. He might be injured, though, is why he's been quiet.
It's been a minute since we heard from Sam.
Yeah, and I kind of was still... I know he doesn't hit the long ball, but I felt like he would eventually... Let's see. I got his numbers up.
Still got Sue Lin down there. Obviously, he hasn't played well when he's been up, though.
Yeah, he's just a utility guy. He makes Brock Holt look like Holt does steroids. He's just not a.
He makes Brock Holt look like 2015 Brock Holt.
Yeah. Let's see.
An all-star all over again.
6 home runs. 31 RBIs. I think he was injured for part of it. I'm looking at Sam Travis right now.